Hello and welcome to BeamNG Mod News and Updates. I'm your host, davidinark, and today we have got a ton of mods to cover. You may have noticed that there was no update for last week because there were no mods last week. I think basically everyone was kind of waiting to see if and when BeamNG was going to release an update, and sure enough, on Tuesday, BeamNG came out with version 0.12, and it's an update that a lot of us have been waiting for, just because we weren't sure when the next update was going to be. I actually thought it was going to be released on April 1st, either an April Fool's kind of thing or an Easter kind of thing, because BeamNG usually releases around holidays or important days. However, they waited till Tuesday afterward, and that's when they released version 0.12 and all kinds of things in there. Probably the biggest news is the bus and the bus routes that go with that. There's a whole bus route option in there that is now available. They also took West Coast USA and they opened up they finished out the bridge and made a little tunnel that just kind of loops around. It's very much akin to, or maybe a nod to. I would love to know if it was maybe an homage to Midtown Madness 2, when you cross the Golden Gate Bridge and they have that circle tunnel at the other end. This tunnel is very similar to that. Just a quick little turnaround to get you back going, but still opened that up. And then tons of other stuff that were done in the 0.12 update. And the reason why I say that modders were waiting for that, because one of the things about BeamNG is that when they update the game, then in a lot of cases it breaks certain mods. In fact, it usually breaks almost all the mods. So what we saw this week was a crazy number of mods released. A lot of them are updates to existing mods, and some of them are mods I had never heard of before, I hadn't seen, so I'm assuming they were new mods, but wow, lots of stuff going on. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And again, this is working from the oldest mod as of Sunday, I believe, working our way up to this past Friday, which would have been April 6th. And so let's get into that. We have the Ibishu Pessima Pro Car 1.4.2018, and that's from Blijo. We have the ETK Series 4.2 liter V8 sound update. This is version 1.01 from Tronadorus. And we've got a facelifted Ibishu Covet 1.0 from Peter Bemo. Awesome to see Peter Bemo, his name showing back up in the mods list. It's been a while since I've seen it. But that is awesome to see him back. We have the Trophy Truck D Series, the TTDS version 1.0, and that is from Rely T2012. So it adds a trophy truck version of the D Series. You want to check that puppy out. We also have the Roadkill Muscle Truck 1.0 from Undead Gaming, and it's based on the Roadkill truck. Now, it's not exactly the same. The Roadkill is a sidestep, but a lot of the multicolor kind of looks like it's pieced together Frankenstein kind of thing. You want to check that out for sure. Nick Back's War gives us BeamNG Mod Gods 4.4 trial number 2. This is version 1.0. You remember a few weeks ago they released the 4x4 trial version map number 1. This is map number 2, version 1.0. Michael Flatt gives us the Burnside Dynaflow. That is an update. It's a mod for a different transmission. In fact, I believe there are 2 different transmissions available in this mod. You want to check that out. And then Signet gives us touring car skins for the Hirochi Sunburst. This is the update for Easter 2018. You want to check those out. JDM gives us the D1 Pessima 1.0, and that's from Axe 53. We have the Sunburst Cosworth i4 engine sound 1.0 from Tronodoros. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is there are several names in here that have released mods, multiple mods throughout the week. So we're going to see several folks whose name appear throughout this incredibly long list of mods. So, continuing, we've got Super Radiators 1.9 from HDR, and this gives you indestructible radiators. So you're not going to risk the overheating that a lot of the radiators suffer from. HDR gives us Super Radiators 1.9. And Car Killer does a mass update to all of the rain maps that he's released. They are all now at version 1.3.1, and we have Jungle Rock Island rain, East Coast USA rain, Hirochi Raceway rain, Utah rain, and the ETK Driving Center rain. Again, those are all version 1.31 from Car Killer. You want to download those, check those out. And then we have the Moonroof for 200BX. This is version 2.3, and this is from Godzilla. Adds a moonroof to the 200BX. That is pretty freaking cool. We have the CJD Special Tunes 1.05. This is a tuner pack, different tune-ups, different options available, and that's from That Guy 47. And then Berlin Kovdeni, and forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, gives us a slew of mods for the Legrand. There's a station wagon, there's a liftback, there's a coupe, there's a limo, there's other things. This is version 2.0, so you want to check that out. And then Godzilla gives us the Ibishu Tuwima, and that's how I'm going to say that, Twoima, the Tuwima 1.1, and basically it's taking two different vehicles, mashing them together to come up with the Ibishu Tuwima. It's essentially taking Ibishu parts and Pessima parts and put them together in one vehicle. This stuff you guys come up with, man. All right, so High Def has updated the Scenario Chase Pack. So we have High Def's Chase Scenario Pack version 0.8.6, and this includes a couple of chase scenarios that are based on Bob Blunderton's massive map for Tennessee. You want to check that out for sure, and man, that's very cool. Skoda Kenner gives us the Ibishu Pessima GT Series 1.4.1. Godzilla comes back with Bruckell Road Cruiser 1.1 and makes some kind of mention about a meme. Evidently, that was something, I don't know, that went around, I guess, in the early days of BeamNG. I mean, I know it's still the early days, but so I have no idea what the meme is about. Feel free to leave a comment down below and clue me in. I have no idea. But anyway, he said no memes allowed. This is a memeless a memeless road cruiser. I don't know. Okay. Darren 9 gives us the DH Outlaw 0.99. Oh my goodness. All right. Occam's Razor. Great to see his name in the list. We have Cops and Robbers. Maple Leaf Credit Union has been updated to version 0.9. So you want to check that out. HDR, again in the list, gives us Adjustable Radiators 1.1. So it gave us the indestructible ones, and then comes back with adjustable ones. So now there's a slider that you can use in the game if you add this mod, and you can adjust the radiator. Very cool. Adam B gives us the Ibishu Traymar 2.0, and this is evidently based on some Russian vehicle. I don't know the history there, but lots of comments about that out on the BeamNG site. You want to check that out. And then EHHI47. So I don't know if that's like I47. I don't know. Either way, it gives us the shaker intake for Barstow 1.3. This is an awesome. It really is. I love anytime you've got that shaker hood on a car. I don't know. To me, it's just awesome. I love that stuff. Aotakai gives us Fiction Police Livery Pack 4.3. So that's been updated, added some more fictional cities, some fictional police cars into the game. You got to check that out. And Josh gives us a torque converter clutch lockup switch, the TCC. This is version 0.8. Work Clock 1 gives us a pack of chickens And this is version 2.0. So I don't know if maybe I didn't see it before, or maybe I have looked at it. I don't remember chickens. But anyway, there's chickens, and evidently one of them is explosive. So that adds a whole nother level to the chicken mod. So there you go. We go check out a pack of chickens 2.0. Taza gives us Covet V engines 1.2. Dr. Petrie has updated Yarmouth Stadium. It's now at 1.1. So all you folks that want to check out the Yarmouth Stadium, you want to see what that's about. And then Audi 4141 gives us an update to the last Barstow V8. It's now at version 0.85. Enjoy My Hits YT has updated his Sunburst skin pack. It's now at 1.6. And it's just they're very cool. These are based on his own skin design, so very, very cool. Kaiser Imnop gives us Kaiser's Configuration Pack 1.1, all kinds of stuff going on in there. King Creeper has updated the Ibishu Hopper Unlimited. That's the 4-door hopper. It's now at version 1.5, and you definitely want to check out a 4-door hopper. That is very, very cool. It surprises me that wasn't actually included in the 0.12 update. I would be surprised if it wasn't in a later version of BeamNG, a 4-door official version of the hopper, just because it's a very common configuration for Jeeps in general. So anyway, there you go. Michael Flatt gives us the Dansworth 1500 Powertrain Mod 1.2, and this Powertrain mod goes specifically with that Dansworth 1500, so you want to make sure that you go get that mod, and then you can add this mod to it. Basically, they just have to both exist in your mods folder, and it'll take care of itself. Z Schmees gives us the Ibishu Covet 1.5 DXA. That's been updated to version 1.1. Kevin Pezza gives us the GS500 semi-engine 0.2. And BeamNG, Nick Back's War is in the list again from BeamNG Mod Gods, giving us an update to the 4x4 trial number 1. Now, earlier I had mentioned that they released the 4x4 trial track number 2, and that was at 1.0. This is the first 4x4 track that they had released, and it's actually been updated to 1.5. There are 10 tracks in total, according to Nick Back's War. In the write-up, there's going to be 10 of these, so be looking for those as time goes on. Sandwiches and Milk gives us the Otakai S88. It's updated now to 1.5, and by far one of my favorite vehicles, modded vehicles. You want to check that out. Occam's Razor back in the list again. He's updated Dublin, the Dublin map. It's now at 0.2. Nobody 76 has updated Island Rally, and that's now at version 1.2. You want to check out Island Rally. Michael Flatt gives us the 4-cylinder ETK I-Series Options 1.03. Jojo Jonah gives us Jojo Jonah's T-Series Parts 1.1.3. So it adds a whole slew of parts to the T-Series. And then Driver 1142 updates the Gavril Vendetta, and that is 0.76.1. If you're not familiar with this, this is the C3 70s style Corvette. Oh, awesome stuff, man. As a huge fan of Corvette, I love it. I love it. No Cow gives us the Burnside Roof Rack 1.03. This adds a very cool wooden, it's metal sides and wooden slats roof rack for the Burnside. Oh, I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to do a full-blown video where that's kind of featured. I think that'll be cool. And then The Gas Station gives us Hard Work 0.1. It's a series of scenarios where you're working hard, you're doing a job, driving a taxi, doing other stuff. You want to check out Hard Work 0.1 if you're a fan of kind of like real life scenario type things. I'm a huge fan of any scenarios that anybody develops. I actually prefer scenarios over most of the other ways that you can do things in BeamNG. I prefer scenarios over even free roam, just because I like the idea that there's a goal. You have to accomplish something, not just drive around randomly crashing cars. Although, admittedly, that is pretty fun, so that's okay too. All right, so you have Josh has the Wentworth Bus Performance Pack, and that's in quotes, 1.0. DriveCAD gives us the DriveCana 3 West Coast USA plus Training Donuts 1.0. That's a mouthful, but you definitely want to check that out. That's got all kinds of different stunts and things for you to attempt to do in West Coast USA. Oh my gosh. And then we have Dank Meme Bunny gives us the Dublin Bus Wentworth Edition 1.0, and this takes the bus, again the Wentworth bus that's the official bus in BeamNG now as of 0.12. It takes that bus and adds a Dublin, Ireland skin to it, so you can take that and drive it around the Dublin map, and you'll be Dublin all over the place. So there you go. That is at version 1.0. Heya gives us Ibishu Kashira 2.2. This is the minivan. I did a video on that and absolutely love it. I think the minivan is one of the best mods out there just because, you know, the game needed a minivan. And this is now at version 2.2 for the Kashira. Crashmaster gives us the splittable Wentworth. This is version 0.9.1, and it is exactly what it says. You can now take the bus and ram something in the middle, and it becomes splittable. If you've been around BeamNG for a while now, one of the very first splittable mods, at least that I ever saw, was the splittable Covet. Now we have the splittable Wentworth, again, 0.9.1. Awesome stuff. Whoa, Jack gives us the Maluk 2018 0406 edition. So the Maluk, and again, forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, a mod that had been released before. It's been updated so that it works with the current version of BeamNG. Aero Tactics gives us an update to the Precious Cargo suite of scenarios. It's now at 1.2, and basically with Precious Cargo, your job is to carry whatever vehicle, whatever the cargo is, and make it to the destination without destroying your car, without losing the cargo, all that kind of stuff. You want to check out Precious Cargo 1.2, and HDR gives us the adjustable JATO rocket boosters 1.1, and this is very, very cool. It adds a slider in the settings for the JATO rockets, and so you can adjust the boost, you can adjust the how much is in there, all kinds of cool stuff. Sinsol gives us driver, passengers, and loads 0.92, and that's exactly what it does. It adds drivers, passengers, and loads to the default vehicles in BeamNG. That is awesome and much needed. It's those one little steps. We've got the Stig, we've got the test drive dummies. We're getting closer to getting people in the game. I hope. I think. I know the folks at BeamNG are not particularly interested in putting people in the game because they don't want the game to become, well, GTA. So there you go. But there are plenty of ways you can handle people and it not be GTA. Referring back to Midtown Madness 2, I thought they always did a great job. People dove out of the way, all that kind of stuff. Now, I totally understand that that means that is valuable resources that particular those particular characters would be taking up, and so implementation could be rough on how well the game performs. So I mean, I understand, but by the same token, if this is supposed to be a simulation, that's part of a simulation. You have people in the game. All right, anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. We have Jack Lumba, the Fastward Racing Bus 0.5. Jojo Jonah gives us Jojo Jonah's Hopper Parts 1.0.0. Woo! And this adds several items that you can add to the hoppers. Then we have Gavril T85 gives us the Gavril D Series Quad Cab 1.0. It's a quad cab not just the extended cab. This is 4. It's like a weird limo thing. I don't know. It's awesome. That's what it is. There you go. And then finally, the newest mod that came out again for the week ending April 6th, 2018, we have Nick Back's War giving us the Mod Gods Rainbow Smoke Mod 1.5. If you've been following along, Nick Back's War has released several Mod Gods colored smoke that you can add to the game, and now you have rainbow smoke because sometimes you just need more than one color. So there you go. Lots of stuff going on this week in BeamNG. Tons of mods. Of course, the game itself got updated to 0.12. So if you attempt to download older mods, they may not work with 0.12. Just be fully aware of that. And also, before we go, I just wanted to say real quickly that this program is not sponsored or endorsed or supported by the folks at BeamNG. This is just davidinark giving you guys an update as to what's happening with mods in BeamNG for the week ending April 6th, 2018. Woo! What a mouthful. What a long show. And thank you so much for hanging around. If you got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories, comments you want to make about any of these mods, feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. I love it. As always, I do respond or try to respond to every single comment. It's always, may not always be within, I try to do within a day or two, but sometimes it's a little longer. But I do go back and I try to respond to every comment that's left. And so I thank you guys so much for that. And I also thank you so much for watching. And I hope you've enjoyed this episode of BeamNG Mod News and Updates. I'm davidinark, and we'll see you next time.